Greetings, Bat lovers. Von Fry here, this most scorned critic on YouTube, with another commentary track for a Batman film. If you caught me the previous week, it was the original Batman. Years back, I did Batman Returns, and today we are doing Batman Forever. And by doing, I mean watching the movie on Hulu while simultaneously playing this commentary track. But first, let me give a quick mention to my buddies over at CalderaLab.com, makers of the finest skincare that'll have you looking better than Val Kilmer today. Oh, that was a low blow. But anyway, use my promo code FRY15 at checkout, save 15%. Okay, so this is a movie that I saw in theaters opening weekend. And this was when I really started to get into seeing movies in the opening weekend at the theaters. I had the big popcorn that was the size of a garbage can and the big drink, and I had to pee towards the end of the movie. I'll try to remember when that comes up. But hey, if you're watching on Hulu with me, where this is currently residing, go ahead and go to 0000 and hit play now. All right, we got the classic Time Warner Entertainment Company. I mean, I guess that's not that classic, but look at that, morphing into the bat symbol. I've got a popcorn. I've got a Rockstar Diet, or are we not calling it diet? Zero sugar. Now, I've seen this movie a lot of times. I have this movie, I believe, on VHS. I don't have but maybe half a dozen movies on VHS. I mean, this seemed like a fun movie to me. Now, I was 10, but nonetheless, it felt fun. And I've never really understood any kind of hate for it. I know we don't have the Batman music, but what we kind of have in its place is fitting enough. All right, the bat suiting up stuff. Oh, the codpiece shot. Okay. We haven't quite yet done the butt shot or the bat nipples thing yet. Based on magazines from DC Comics. You know, in watching the original Batman, this is a much more fleshed out Batcave. Drew Barrymore, quite prominent. Well, I guess she didn't have one of those fancy sliding names, but prominently featured nonetheless. You blink and you miss she's in it. Yeah, there are bat nipples there. Okay. Michael Gough had an English girl in classes in middle school and high school, and she went by Gough with that name. Turned out she was in the country illegally and got kicked out. The new Batmobile, is it improved? No. Is it designed to sell some toys? Pretty much. Well, look at that, an actual exterior. You didn't have a whole lot of real location shots in the original Batman. Now, this was a confusing movie for me in a few ways, because it's like we have a new guy playing Batman. Gotham City looks quite different. We have the same Commissioner Gordon. We have the same Alfred Pennyworth. But I was not really that sure that there was continuity in line here. It seemed like too many people were forgetting things regarding Batman. Batman kind of seems to think that whoever the new villain is the one that killed his parents. That comes up here. At the very start, the very instant in which we see Tommy Lee Jones, he's Harvey Dent. We know something is lurking on the other side there. We see the hint of it in his attire. And here is the Two-Face makeup. And it is frankly cringe. Now here's the problem. After this scene, he is all Two-Face. He is never the other side of that character. And that's what you need in Two-Face. You need the good district attorney, Harvey, and then you need Two-Face. And he does not do that. And it's also Not that I even noticed it at the time when I saw the original film in theaters, but Tommy Lee Jones certainly doesn't look like Billy D. Williams, and you have to think that Billy D. Williams was probably thinking he was going to have a bigger role in Batman Returns, saw that he wouldn't, just, nix that altogether, probably. There's Commissioner Gordon, who I never realized was ever... It honestly wasn't until quite recent did I even realize Commissioner Gordon was a character in the movies prior to Batman Nolan. Chase Meridian. This is Nicole Kidman at the height of her powers. Let there be no doubt. I actually like the way this batsuit looks. And we got a bit of a Tom Cruise thing going here. Multiple ex-wives end up being Batman's girl. And we have Iceman from Top Gun. This batsuit works for me, honestly. And she is fawning over the Batman right now. These movies are played in a fun sort of way that it dips its toes into camp, but it doesn't go headfirst over the deep end. These are not the kind of conversations people would be having right now with, this crazed maniac has got hostages and all this. We're going to flirt, right? Look, he can move his neck. He looks up. This nonsense of Batman couldn't move his neck until the Dark Knight costume is nonsense. In fact, Val Kilmer, he is able... Oh, look at that. Created by Bob Kane. I'm surprised they didn't append a Bill Finger to that title credit. I think it's at the end scroll. I think they legally have to. He's got goons. How he hired them, it came about him, it doesn't really quite matter, I guess, for the movie. You'll see that they have neon cartridges in their guns, and it is not the only instance of neon you're going to be finding in this movie. Directed by Joel Schumacher, who basically auditioned with a line in The Lost Boys talking about a rare Batman comic. Only 2 in existence. I'm always looking for the other one. Oh, hey, look, he mentioned Batman. He should do a Batman movie. Somewhat comical lightning. The Batarang looks quite different. Yeah. Batman's suit going a little further towards the Greek god statue type look, which is kind of had in the first movie, only to, in Batman Returns, go for a more sculpted cowl while going for more of an armor-plated chest and abs, which was a different route. But the Batman Returns costume looks really good too, though. But this first costume that Kilmer has, he's able to do some of these fights. I like the way the ears look. I like the way the cowl looks. Overall, it's a strong costume. It's just unfortunately not the costume this movie's known for. All the promotional material had the prototype costume he ends up in at the end of the movie, which goes a bit goofier. I mean, look at this. So our start of the movie, we're getting into some sort of 60s Batman camp hijinks here. Oh yeah, we're gonna pull the tank, the vault out, and it's gonna fill it with some acid, things like that. Now, this is produced by Tim Burton. You still get some of the Tim Burton over-the-top flavor, but I think Joel Schumacher put, he definitely had a say in a lot of this too. It's boiling acid, guys. It's been heated up past room temperature. This is extra dangerous. Yeah, I saw the Batman opening week. Honestly, there's not a lot of Batman movies I haven't seen opening week. The only There's 2 Batman movies I didn't see in theaters. Batman and Robin and Batman Begins. It's my hearing aid. Batman's doing the MacGyver stuff. He's using what he's got on hand. He doesn't have his bat ears on him, I guess. Though, I don't see how he wouldn't. They could have had something built into the cowl, right, in the ear slot. Yeah, the guard is terrified. He's also goofy. Man, grapple shot is going through concrete. Hang on. People do not mention Val Kilmer as a favorite Batman. He has a decent Batman voice. He has a different yet altogether sleek Bruce Wayne. No issues with Val Kilmer. None. You know, this movie's not pulling off that ultra-wide aspect, so it fits the HD TVs perfect. We're going to be seeing some CGI. 1995, not a super good year for CGI. CGI helicopter shots here, but there are some really impressive miniatures. There's our composite shot as Batman's really struggling with that rope. Into the eye, now that's miniature. Looks pretty cool. I take that over a whole lot of the stuff we get nowadays. See, look, he's just maniacal the whole time through as Two-Face. And it's a problem when you also have Jim Carrey's Riddler showing up. Jim Carrey coming in 1995, he's coming in hot off the heels of probably the most successful movie star, at least most successful comedy run in a given year. Ace Ventura, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. Household name. It seems a little superfluous to even have Two-Face in this movie when he's just going to act like the Riddler anyway. And in a way, this kind of gives Batman a cool thing to do at the start. I think it would have actually been better if he'd arrested Two-Face, got him in the asylum, and just be like, that's it for Two-Face this movie. Now we can focus on the Riddler. And wouldn't you know it, Gotham City has the equivalent of a Statue of Liberty. Look, he's just laughing the whole time. He's doing the Joker as Two-Face is what he's honestly doing. You never see Two-Face done in this way in the animated series. Nowhere. He is, if anything, the alter ego of Harvey Dent is extra stern and sinister, not a jokey side. The bat gets wet. I think there's a pretty fair amount of Batman being submerged in this movie. CGI City. I believe that the capability to render CGI was not at the resolution of the film stock, so it's always going to end up looking a little grainy and stretched as far as textures and things go, and you end up with a look that reminds you of the time of what computer effects looked like in the day. Tall guy. Whoa, am I missing things, or is that on the right there? Is that Jon Favreau in a suit? Maybe he's uncredited. Here's Edward Nygma, the Riddler. Clingy. Kind of has a similar arc as the villain in Iron Man 3, where it's like, you turned down my invention and now I'm going to get revenge. Yeah, on meeting a guy, call him your idol. Yeah, that's smart. Dude, bear in mind, Jim Carrey and Val Kilmer are like 6'2", and this guy is just towering over him like Shaq. Brainwave television. Where in viewing this movie now it may not make sense to you is the fact that people get addicted to TV, which people are going to be addicted to the highest form of entertainment available to them. And TV kind of fit this niche of availability, the presence, and how people would just check out watching it. But it didn't foresee the internet being what ultimately would make everybody into a zombie. And nowadays you have kids who don't watch TV at all, may not even be aware of TV so much. They may not even watch TV in the sense of the TV in which I'm watching this right now and I play games on. Maybe they only game on an iPad and a Switch. Maybe they only watch movies on a phone. Maybe I burned my popcorn a little bit. Oh, calling your assistant's not good enough. I need an answer now. He didn't get to show off his invention. Batman just dismissed it. But I would much rather get the actual no instead of call my assistant, he'll set something up, blah, blah, blah. I just don't want to hear it right now. I'm going to have to look it up. I think that was Jon Favreau. Pre-famed Jon Favreau. I'm not so sure if he's in anything prior to this. I mean, Swingers is what, 97? He might have been in something that I hadn't seen or not too familiar with. I like this concept here. Bruce Wayne's got to make a quick exit, right? So he can be Batman. He needs to have a few different means to pull this off. How he got into the pod here, I guess he slipped into it when he went into the shoot. Heads-up display. Iron Man-esque shot right there, is it not? The reflection of who's talking to him, huh? If that was Jon Favreau, I think he might have gotten some inspiration from this movie when he did Iron Man. Going with the Dutch angles. There's a lot of Dutch angles in this. There were some in Batman 89, but there's far more here. The bat signal. I'm needed. Commissioner Gordon's at home. I'm wearing lingerie. Last night at the bank. I told him some information everybody already is aware of. Yeah, he flips a coin. Now, Nicole Kidman, 5'11". That's over my ride height requirement, but I mean, 1995 Nicole Kidman, you may have to make some exceptions to your rules, boys. You never are under any kind of pretense that she is a therapist, a psychiatrist, criminal psychologist, whatever it is. And I think it's in this movie where he says, it's the car, right? Chicks dig the car. Did he say that line already? I don't think I've heard it. Scarred psyche. Skin tight vinyl, a whip, describing Catwoman. When did Catwoman get the whip? Maybe she wasn't introduced with the whip. And now, yeah, everybody has to run over here in their underwear, don't they? I do like how the bat signal's used to usher in a meeting. We got a canopy on this Batmobile. It's very outlandish looking. I can see why one wouldn't care for it, especially when it's coming after the most iconic Batmobile ever. But I do recall on Drew Carey's sitcom, The Drew Carey Show, there was an episode where he won the Batmobile, and they gave him the Batman Forever Batmobile for an episode to drive down the street of Cleveland. And I don't quite hate this Batmobile. It's not the most masculine looking thing, but I think it beats the Batman and Robin Batmobile, which is like a one-seater, so super impractical. All right, so we knocked out Tall Guy, and we're going to wear our stupid blender apparatus, which there is no reason for there to be a blender attached. This was from a time when building props for a movie went the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids route with a bunch of completely unnecessary stuff just so that the executives could say to the audience, it reads invention, prototype, right? And here's Jim Carrey being over the top. Yelling gibberish, it says. Okay, so this invention doesn't work for a number of reasons. You can't get signals that are not coming. The signals to get all this stuff 3D and everything as transmitted over the air don't exist. So you're not picking up the signals. You're going to have a source transmitting everything in a specific way. But this also like links the minds together. So it's the promise is sort of that you watch this and it's like television beamed inside your mind. But then the dangerous thing here is that instead of it just giving the signal to him, he's sucking he's sucking the knowledge out of other people collectively. He gets, and that's ultimately how Riddler's defeated, is like he gets his brain fried from taking in too much knowledge. Look, why would that guy need like half a dozen different lenses and different colors above his eyes that aren't used? Well, you're mesmerized by 3D TV. I utilize your neural energy to grow smarter. Bruce Wayne was right. Demented, unethical toad. The FCC exists in Gotham City's universe. Oh, look, he has a Riddler toy, or in this case, is that a leprechaun? Enigma didn't need to brag that he was sucking up this guy's brain energy and whatever and growing smarter. He could have just said, hey, cool 3D TV, huh? Are we approved yet? Okay, cool. And I guess part of becoming smarter is you get to be a homicidal maniac. Oh yeah, that helmet was holding him in place, I'm sure. Glad I have the subtitles on, because some of the stuff Jim Carrey says I never understood. Of course, we know now that Jim Carrey is full tilt insane and wasn't just acting the part. All right, archival footage of Harvey Dent. Look at that, not CNN. It's GNN, the Gotham News Network. Batman tried to save him. I can only cover half my face with this paper. An accident at Wayne Enterprises, huh? The police tell me about it before I hear about it? Man, the guy fell in the river by the dam and you can't find it? How far do you have to look? Over the top portrayal. Jim Carrey's hair will seem to grow more ginger throughout the movie. You know, I don't think Paul Dano even had red hair in the Batman. At this point, we may have had more screen time for Jim Carrey than Paul Dano received in a 3-hour movie. And we manipulated the footage, huh? How you managed to do that? You just imagine the footage, you want it printed out? Definitely suicide. Open and shut case. Suicide's not covered by a plan. I know, full benefits anyway. I'm Batman. And we have a riddle left behind. Now, I think this might be the one that showed up on Pawn Stars. If you look at the number on my face, you won't find 13 anyplace. I realize that there's not enough love for this movie, though it is part of the Batman saga of films. Movie made pretty good dough, but as screen use props go, there wasn't a lot of interest on Pawn Stars for what they picked up. This may not have been it. Maybe it's the next clue or whatever, but I kind of prefer the nature of the riddles in this movie over the Batman. There's a little bit more excitement about it. Man, I'm finding burnt popcorn in here. Riddler's got a weird pad, but listen to the music here. Live on Mars and have it your way. Why does he have all this Riddler stuff when the Riddler doesn't exist? It's not like he based his villain persona on a cartoon he watched as a kid. It's just kind of strange. I had the soundtrack to this movie on cassette. My best friend had it on CD, and boy did we listen to this a lot. I could probably sing every song in the movie, though I haven't heard them in a while. Because boy did I play that cassette. Alright, so we got Another clue he's leaving. And remember, this isn't for Batman so much because he's targeting Bruce Wayne. Look at that nice question mark. Isn't it lovely? See, one of the logos used in the promotional material for this movie had the Batman logo inside the question mark. Oh, look, a real exterior. You know, you didn't see like a Two-Face logo or a coin toss or anything or like that. Why does Two-Face need to be so prominent in this movie? I think they felt like they struck something of gold in Batman Returns with the double team of Catwoman and Penguin, though Max Schreck is really just as much a villain. It was Max Schreck, right? That was his name. Wasn't it Schreck, right? Hey, now, you're an all-star. But even though I think they thought that the returns on that movie were disappointing, going forward, they're like, we have to double villain these Batman films. Keep punching, baby. Yeah, I have a punching bag in my practice. You know, just sit on the couch, you know, do that whole thing. Never been to a psychiatrist or a criminal psychologist or any of that. But there certainly is a trope in movies of you have to lay on the couch, lay on your back, head up, and talk about your childhood when seeing the psychiatrist. I'm not sure if that's the way that works in reality. In fact, I doubt that is the case. I mean, there's a lot of things that are portrayed quite differently in movies than in reality. Like sitting on the toilet. We're talking about a clock face. No 13, yep. Tear one off and scratch my head. What once was red is black instead. A match. Good. Oh, he's a total wacko. Wow, that's the technical term, okay. He even says it's that technical. Oh, he certainly has potential homicidal tendencies. I'd say they're fulfilled. And she's a little flirty towards Bruce Wayne, but not nearly to the extent that she is Batman. Oh, that's an ink blot. It's whatever you want it to be. You say it's a bat. Are you revealing that you're Batman? Sure looks bat to me. A dream warden. So something has to catch the dream, and then we need the warden to sort them out to gin pop. I like the way Bruce Wayne is just kind of put together here. He's got a good haircut and this turtleneck, mock turtleneck suit thing going. It's pretty cool. I don't think that we've seen enough of Pat's Bruce Wayne. I think he's going to have to develop him into a persona in upcoming film. I'm assuming there's a sequel. And he's going to have to ditch the emo hair. He's going to have to try to be more jovial. Oh, yes. Gotham's charity circus. Yes, that's quite the odd-looking exterior we had there. Was that something of a hybrid matte painting CGI thing? Now, you're thinking, why is the circus on television? Well, this was a charity event, so it may as well be Jerry's Kids, something like that. A telethon. Oh, hey, just kind of spur of the moment. You want to go on a date to the circus? Yeah, sure. I guess Batman didn't want to go, so I'll go with you. But I guess we got to give Two-Face something to do here, so he's going to create Robin by killing his family. But I was confused because after I saw the original Batman movie, my dad's like, you know why Robin's not in it, right? Because the Joker killed him. And so I thought what they were sticking with this like storyline through the movies, and instead it turns out movies disregard things whenever they feel like it. Even if they're calling a thing a reboot, like the Daniel Craig Bond films, then they unreboot it and be like, hey, here's a car he had in 1987 that you never saw this James Bond Daniel Craig acquire. The gal with the big glasses right there on the left, I believe that's Bob Kane's wife. And she had a way of getting herself into these movies. You know, why did I think Commissioner Gordon didn't exist when he's sitting here? He's called the Bat Signal. He's just so easily ignored, isn't he? Because he really doesn't have much of a character. He's present and accounted for, and that's about it. Richard, the youngest Grayson, Dick Grayson. And this is peculiar because I never really got that Chris O'Donnell is a boy or a kid. He was evidently born 30 years old or close to it. I mean, he looks 30 and he has, in his family, they talk about how young he is. That it's only really a thing that you mention so much when someone's like 14. A lot of this is good enough. You get the sense that his costume is inspired by the acrobatic costume, and I guess something has to happen for his family to have a heroic death, not just simply tampering with the wire. Which, by the way, wire fraud is not tampering with the Trapeze Act. Can you believe that? Two-Face has taken over. I'd say his henchmen fit in pretty well in the circus. So seeing this chaos go down inspires Riddler to work with him. $200 sticks of TNT, huh? And then we have this how do you get rid of a bomb moment, right? More in line with the Adam West Batman. Got to reveal who Batman is. You got 2 minutes. Giant ass remote. Look, his plan is to just go ahead and say I'm Batman, but everybody else is screaming and he can't hear them. Oh, the Riddler's got the popcorn. Get your popcorn ready. We could stop him. Go to the rigging. Be careful, boys. Don't worry, Mom. You know, I think that's the extent of Robin's parents talking. Now, look, you kind of need a body count in order for the villains to have a threat level. If the villains can't kill anybody, then it's kind of like, why is anybody worried? I guess we're going to assume that landed on Scratched Face. And you know what? That the way the coin is incorporated in this movie, it's used to sort of defeat Two-Face, but it's not nearly as well established as it is when we get to see Two-Face come into being Two-Face in The Dark Knight, which, by the way, also not a great use of Two-Face because he's greatly overshadowed by Joker. But no, the fall killed them. At least we got to see why he had a double head coin, and then it got damaged, and then that becomes the way he works things. Instead of this Two-Face is just kind of like I flip a coin and I'm still crazy and bad results. Oh no. Should have had the nets up. Look, how does he look young with those sideburns and the trendy for its day ear piercing? Robin's got a motorcycle, not Batman. In this, anyhow. Now, in more recent films, we see Batman and motorcycle quite a bit. Good of you to take him in. He doesn't have anyone. Why does someone need to take him in? He looks really adult. I mean, no, I'm not hating on Chris O'Donnell here. I think it's not so much that he's poorly cast, it's that they were looking for the wrong thing. Well, you're a grown man, so yeah, you can leave if you want. Go ahead. Social service interviews. You just told the cop you'd take him in, saved him a whole lot of trouble. Really? Everybody's looking to force an adopted 30-year-old on him. Yeah, follow the circus. That's the life you know. And go after Two-Face. Now, this is probably the movie you'd rather watch here. A Robin movie. The Robin origin. Happening right here. Quite possibly more involving than Batman. The Batman's tale in this movie. Hey, why don't we look at some of my vintage rides? I see a Dino, a Cobra. Looks like we have a Gullwing Mercedes. There's a Jaguar race car. Lots of bikes, but Batman doesn't really ride bikes. He doesn't go, hey, get me the Bat bike. That one doesn't run, which means we're going to get it up and running. Someone could fix it. They might be able to keep one as a fee. Anyways, I guess you're on your way. All right, bye. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I could stay and work on one of these bikes. Oh, look at all this food. I'll just have to toss it away then. there is a relationship here between Alfred and Robin where, hey, Al, wait up. Like, those two have some interactions in the movie. Uh-oh, Batman's got to be in deep think here, and there's the parents. And we're going to try to rework his origin story from what was previously established in the 89 movie, if the idea was that the continuity of this goes together. The retconning here makes Batman come across as crazy. Now look, we're not doing the Joker killed my parents anymore. I thought there was supposed to be a bunch of pearls all over the ground. There are some stills going around. I'm not sure if there was any footage of it, but of a giant bat dream sequence that, I guess the idea is it inspires Bruce Wayne to become the Batman, right? But I don't believe you see a giant bat in this movie. And if this is a memory Bruce Wayne has of his parents' funeral, it is done in such a stylized, dreamlike fashion, isn't it? Val, you need to trim those eyebrows. I just kind of stood here and thought about this horrible thing all day long, and now it's night. Two-Face killed my parents. He slaughtered the boys' parents. No, you said I killed them? What? Yes, you're going crazy, Bruce Wayne. It's kind of like Memento. Whoever he needs to go after is a John G. I really have my doubts the bat signal would ever be terribly effective. It would be so difficult to really get that pattern to display in the sky, be it on the clouds, and even then it's just a light. It would just be rough. I swung and grabbed it. He said I was his hero. I flew in like a robin, so I've been called Robin. Maybe I can tailor a suit with this motif. You can tell he's a hero? Well, I mean, there's evidence. He got rid of that bomb. I think I'll just put it in here. Why don't you just put it in the Batcave? So we got the mentor relationship here is more between Alfred and Dick Grayson than it is Batman inspiring him. Alfred gets him in the suit. Alfred gets him to come save Batman. Oh yeah, high big time Dutch angles here. If it's not Dutch angle, we have to make it Dutch angle through the shot. Twist that camera. Two-Face has to keep whipping out these disguises. Ha ha ha, it's hilarious. I tricked you. Okay, sure you did. Whatever. Bazookaed his own boys. That is so not an LCD screen in the center console. That is, done, overlaid in post right there. That's a composite, yeah. And also the time frame. Like, look at the styling of all the vehicles. We've changed Gotham City dramatically. Like, there's so much more retro stuff going about. We have Art Deco. We have giant-ass statues everywhere. There was a giant statue there. There was a giant statue in the Circus. There's just huge-ass statues all across Gotham City. The cars are done to resemble an Art Deco, almost Colombian, or it's like they're Cuba leftover refugee cars, right? But that's not enough. You can't just go down the street. The street has to be lit up in neon. The back alley, I'm sure, is awash in neon, right? Yeah. We are driving up the building now. Yep, you boys can't follow me. I used the bat winch. That shot right there was in all the promotional material. The Batmobile outrunning the flame. I think that's about the extent of which we're going to see the Batmobile in action. I mean, we get a little... It still has some screen time, but as far as action goes... Let's fiddle with our computer a little bit here. The Puzzler. Now he has this Riddler. What is it? Zoltan from Big. I forgot what they called it. Automated palm reader type of fortune teller. And it just so happens to agree with him. No or question mark. Those are our choices. So, is the green question mark supposed to be a yes? That scene didn't make any sense. He wasn't over there putting the coins in or even looking at it. But it was just on. Two-Face has his lair set up so that it has this dual nature of man thing going. There's Drew Barrymore and I think Deborah Mazer. I swear, you could really forget that Drew Barrymore was in this movie. Yeah, right down the middle. This side white, this side black. It's silly. And yeah, we're going a bit camp here with this for sure. I have to talk all sultry. Okay. Yeah, the Riddler just kind of walks in here. Do you have much in the way of guards? Does Riddler have a way to get past guards? About the only time in the movie you're going to see Riddler looking Frank Gorshin, right? Batman 60s Adam West era style, the top hat, the green mask, the question marks. He'll ditch that hat and go, more light up. It keeps me safe jogging at night. I'll help you with the Batman. Well, our plan is to kill the Batman. Isn't that Joker's plan in The Dark Knight? Everybody thought that was so brilliant. It was so simple. See, Tommy Lee Jones is bad in this movie. I'm not totally sure he's to fault here. There certainly is a vibe going across all villainous performances. But wouldn't it have been better if he was radically different than the Riddler? Not trying to out Jim Carrey, because you can't do that. The Riddler looks like he's ready to sell you a book on how to get free money from the government. Here, I've got this blender with crystals, and you try this, and why don't you try that? I just can't simply walk over here. I have to do a weird high step crouch sneak move, which you saw Ace Ventura do. I think Tommy Lee Jones here, I think his patience is wearing a little thin. Oh man, and just one guy doesn't even have access to Wayne Enterprises anymore. He's got this stuff going from blender apparatus on the noggin to set-top box, almost like a Nintendo Wii. Only the first one's free. Drug dealer slang right there. You steal the production capital, and I'll have all this stuff of Batman. We'll be able to figure out who Batman is. I'll help you solve the greatest Riddler, the mother of all riddles. Who is Batman? They're in corny movies. There's a lot of this looking away from each other, talking off screen. Heads we accept, tails we blow your damn head off. Is this like the one time he gets the heads? So now we have a crime spree so that we can collect that capital. I don't know how much time goes by in this movie, but Riddler is able to get things done in a way that would make Elon Musk blush. Just in no time, he can get this product to market, build his fortress island. Oh yeah, you're supposed to think this is cool martial arts stuff here with the clothes, even though look at all the cutting we had to do to make this work. I don't think I was super impressed by this at 10. But there you go. It's another scene of Alfred and Robin bonding. I see some potential in this kid. Knocking off a jewelry store, then knocking off a casino. All right, I'm going to teach you how to punch a guy. Ow. Here we go. More 30s looking vehicles. 30s, 40s. All right, we got lots of money. You're wearing a tiara. Green-suited menace. Why is Riddler getting all the credit for this crime spree? I mean, it's not his guys. He's not the one with the goons. The guy was rather Jason Scott Lee looking right there. Here we go. Now that's this puzzle here. 8 of us go forth, not back, to protect our king from a foe's attack. Chess pawns, right. But that was the piece, I believe, that was shown on Pawn Stars, which he declined. But boy did the Pawn Star guy really want the everlasting gobstopper. Even though everybody else seems to think the golden ticket's cooler. Bruce Wayne is straight up ignoring Dick Grayson. He's just like, Alfred, you go handle this kid. I don't got time for trying to wean a 30-year-old. You don't see microphones like that in use at a press conference these days. No, I can see they got some rather modern-looking cameras in the crowd. Everybody is just dazzled, except for that Asian girl. Enigma. How much money did he make from this, you know? He's kind of going the Nintendo Entertainment System route, where it's like soft launch in New York City. We're just going to launch in Gotham City for right now. And seemingly overnight, he has built this tower fortress island where it collects all of the brain signals, right? And just feeds on it. Riddler kind of blinged out right here. He's got a smoking jacket with sequins. Master Dick. Now that is a name. Where's he going in secret? I need to get down there really quick before this door shuts, which, by the way, you're not getting down there fast enough. This is one slow-ass door if this is working out. To the Bat Cave we go. This is a better Batcave than the 89 film, which was just some isolated matte paintings. Like, this is an actual set. The car comes up, not that it needs to go down, but boy, does that look cool. It's on the turntable. I guess that way you can drive straight in, and then it'll turn the car around so you can just drive straight out. Did she send him one of those dream wardens? Yes, she did. And man, Nicole Kidman not looking bad. It's actually astonishing Nicole Kidman gets so much work still. Usually, the actress, they hit 40 and then roles peter out and they play a mom. And that's, I believe there was a phrase like, once you play a mom, it's all over. Or maybe it was once you play a witch, it's all over. She played a witch. Practical Magic. 97 or 98? Dude, her and Sandra Bullock from that movie both still have careers going. Whistling stops. Was that tea or coffee she had going? She's into the Batman. Yeah, kids, this was before you had to go to Starbucks to get coffee. This was more of a, we're doing Folgers. Do you think Bruce Wayne could maybe not wear black? Kind of leads people to guess that he's Batman if he wears the same color. Be like, if you don't want people to know you're Riddler, wear yellow. I can't be jealous of Batman. Yeah, and here he goes dropping the hints here that he has a dark side. She's thinking, okay, show me the bondage dungeon. Oh, here we go. Distressing news about Master Dick. I'm afraid Master Dick was gone traveling, sir. He took the car. He boosted the not the Jaguar, the other car. The Bentley? No, sir. And, you know, to emphasize, we go in a little closer. Here we go, Offspring, smash it up. And you know, okay, so he's doing this bit of this hydraulics drag type thing. Why would the Batmobile be bouncing? Why is the Bat wing spoiler in the back split? It's supposed to show you that he doesn't know how to drive it. Okay, now, this is a weird scenario here, but yeah, like I said, there's giant-ass statues all over the place, and neon. There's a kind of high school-looking girl getting kind of roughed up. He tries to pick up some hose with the Batmobile, but these guys kind of see it and think they need to get involved because Batman's here. You're Bat Boy. They look like Baps. Okay, so she's running. This gets his attention, right? Leader of the neon glow-in-the-dark gang here with the skull. Don the Dragon Wilson. Not a big role, but probably his most prominent role and easily his most prominent successful movie because everything else he's in is just, well, you know, straight to video trash. And I guess it's acceptable for him to be in this role because you can't tell who the hell it is. You know, stunt performance may as well be, but he has a line. If you have a line, you get a check. In perpetuity. Bring out those glow sticks. I don't think this movie was the reason why, but in the mid-90s, glow, what it kind of, you know, like you crack the stick open and it glows in the dark, all that kind of stuff really started to come around. You know, we got like the black light glow, everything here. Who is this girl? I don't think she's a thing. I could definitely get used to this superhero gig. Yeah. Bringing in backup. The reinforcements attack like they are a gang from the Warriors. There's gotta be 40 of them, and they see Batman and they just split. Batman doesn't fight a single one of them. They are just like, Batman's on our turf, let's get the hell out of here. What do you say there? If you told me Two-Face was at the circus, they'd still be alive? What? If you were at the circus and saw Two-Face, that's what would happen, right? I couldn't switch into the Batman, the bat suit. Everybody saw me standing there as Bruce Wayne. Look how sweet this Batcave is. Best Batcave in cinema? I think that there's a possibility here. All right, I want to be the one to kill Two-Face. Nope. Suppose you kill him, then what? One terrible morning, you wake up and realize the revenge has become your whole life. Yeah, but that's turned out to be a pretty good life for Batman and Bruce Wayne, has it not? Revenge works pretty well if you're rich. Revenge is a good motivation. It keeps you off the couch and from becoming, obsessed with Enigma's television VR. You don't want anybody else going down this path, really? Like, Alfred, we're going to have a talk. How did he get in here? Man, every time you turn around, there is a big night for Gotham's elite society. The Ritz Gotham, lit up in tacky neon. Nothing says high class like, turning everything into a rave. There's Drew Barrymore, in case you forgot she was still here. I don't believe Drew Barrymore and Jim Carrey cross paths again. There's Gossip Gertie, I think, as she's credited, sort of the gossip columnist / reporter, Bob Kane's gal, doing the sort of throwback 30s star makeup here with the super thin painted eyebrow. I'm talking about Drew Barrymore. Congratulations, I have no ill will towards your invention. There you go. But I'm not done. I would say Bruce Wayne's got the hotter babe with him. Okay, I can call you anything I want. Can I call you alligators in the sewer? And is this Commissioner Gordon? That's, no. So now Enigma Tech is taking it up a notch. We're not just living the television signal, but doing fantasy stuff. How do you create these images? My little secret. She's not even in the device. Or did she walk in? What? I've stolen the suit from Bruce Wayne, the hairstyling. He's not even copper-colored hair anymore, and he's got his glasses, and he's totally mimicking him. I'll take the dance with Jim Carrey, she says, even though it's only because he's rich now. That's the only reason. Otherwise, he's too creepy. If you're rich, you can't be creepy. I guess that's the rule of the way it works. All right, no lie, Drew Barrymore has more lines in this movie than I recalled. Now, the way he walks across here, it looks like he shifted up a staircase. Is that just something to do with that light pattern on the wall there? It looked like he, flew like 10 feet. How do you turn off? I'll have a look in it with it off, and then I'll switch this out. Turn it back on, and we're going to scan Bruce Wayne. Which may reveal a little too much. Okay, so we're making a file on the brain type here. That's a Sony Trinitron screen, by the way. Party crashed by more neon. And there's Riddler freaking out. No! Which actually is in keeping with how he should be behaving if he wants to act like Edward Nygma is not part of the Two-Face crime syndicate. Only interested in basic cash cellular phones, he said, I think. Cash jewelry, cell phone. But now they're kind of mingling, and it's giving away, you know, that they're working together. You don't need everybody seeing this. Batman made a way so that he can come in through the ceiling. Look, it's Batman. This guy pointing at the ceiling. Oh, man. Was he not the security guard that got rescued at the beginning? His entrance was better than yours. Look, he even put that mole on to try to look like Val Kilmer's Bruce Wayne. Batman does some flexible fighting here. He doesn't have a stiff neck. And Alfred puts a little crack in there. I'm going to get fired. Maybe I can go back to Buckingham Palace. Fired because I'm letting Robin come to light. Big kiss on Batman. My place, midnight. Does he know where she lives? Is she assuming? He's Batman. He can figure it out, right? Everything is a big smirk and laugh with Two-Face, and it is obnoxious. Man, I should have done a count for how many times he fires a gun in the air, too. Two-Face fires a gun in the air, take a shot, you're drunk. There is something really camp about the villain not just turning and blowing a kiss to Batman, who he can barely see from how up he is, and then jumping down into a pit like, yay! But we've set a trap for Batman. He was in pursuit. And we've steered him into a scenario here where we're going to cook him. Now, worth noting, one of the other differences on this Batman suit, the yellow on the chest logo is a little more subdued, but I think his belt is no longer yellow. I think his belt is dark. And it's not a straight across the stomach belt anymore. There's a V-shaped curvature to it. I think it is now a darkened up yellow, kind of like as his chest logo is too. Which in a still, in the right environment, you can tell there's some yellow to it, but it is definitely darkened up and you don't typically see it. It's kind of nice that we got to see some more tech out of the bat suit, like the heat resistant cape he pulled here, and now he's kind of getting buried. Or as I pointed out earlier, submerged, right? Someone's got to come to the rescue. Look at all that red. Again, another scenario here, Batman in red. And the Batman, prominent red in the poster, and there's scene in the movie, it's all awash in red. You get a real problem with gratitude. I need a name. Batboy, Nightwing. Nightwing's actually pretty good. About Dick Grayson, college student. You want to call him totally out of control when he doesn't even have a drug problem? It's going to stop me. I can stop you. He doesn't actually need his Robin, his Grayson costume hung next to the Batsuit where it belongs. So he ends up getting a new one that he'll be in next. Let's head over to the Bat computer and take a look. She said she wanted to meet me at her place at midnight. Which I think is where we're going to get Kiss from a Rose by Seal. I don't recall it being a hit before this movie. It's my understanding the song's from 94, might have been released 94, whatever. I thought it became a big hit from this movie. Soundtrack on this was quite the popular. This soundtrack, I mean, it's not, in the running of most popular movie soundtracks, but lots of hits on it. Contemporary to its time. A lot of stuff made for this movie also. Like U2 has the track, I believe it closes the movie in the Hold Me, Kiss Me, Thrill Me, Kill Me, something, dun, 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 dun. But I think that plays in the closing credits. Played a lot at the movie theater before the movie started. Like, they were jamming this out. She thought she wanted Batman, but it turns out she wants Bruce Wayne. That's the thing about girls. Once they get what they want, they don't know what they want anymore. So why bother? I wish she was somebody else. That's what it is. It's not. I can fix him. I can make him into what I want him to be. Now I want him to be somebody else. Now I don't know what I want. Look at how much better cut the cowl is to fit his face. See those contours going in towards the cheek? Instead of just kind of being blatantly lopped off. Look, he moves his head around. Fine. I mean, everybody wants to disregard this Batman. They don't even bring up Kilmer. Best Batman. You like Batfleck? Or do you like Keaton? Do you like Bale? He's like, yes, I win. Because I know who she actually likes. Edward Nygma. More statues. Oh yeah, the cringy jumpsuit. Two-Face is kind of putting up for a whole lot here. You know, he's not getting the results and finding out who Batman is, but he sure is using them. Who was dreaming about the bats? So yeah, now they essentially do know who Batman is. But boy, man, I mean, considering the time it would take to get the product to market and everything, like, what's he signing up for? Like 5 years of internship with the Riddler? You know, another nice thing about the Batcave here, it's not like it's infected with all the neon that Gotham City has. It's dark. Lights are, incandescent. You're going to tell her everything. Well, make sure you tell her that I saved you. Why didn't you just go, Chase is coming over for dinner. Can you, skedaddle so we can have some alone time? Plate says Gotham on the back, and it is Halloween. We got a jack-o'-lantern. Really went all out with the decorations over at Wayne Manor. Several bat suits. That might have been a Keaton Batman Returns bat suit back there. I might be wrong. So you can see some yellow on the chest, but boy, is it not terribly noticeable when he's in action throughout the movie. There's something I wanted to tell you. No, wait, you tell me first, because I know what you're going to say. Big statue. Trick or treat. Yeah, kids get to come straight up to the door at Wayne Manor. You know, I get that he's a rich guy. He probably has some candy. He can afford it. But these kids are having to hike. They're quite the trek away from the city to get to Wayne Manor, right? So this is going to be the only house they hit on Halloween. How did the kids get past the gate? I mean, Riddler may as well just hired the kids, been like the Pied Piper. Look at this silly, goofy laughter at everything. I halfway think that Tommy Lee Jones spends more time laughing in this movie than Jim Carrey. You've never told anyone you're Batman, they just always had to figure it out by going into the Batcave. This is a cool dream sequence. It's very ethereal. There's some slow motion about it. There's an artsy, moody thing going here with that. What if so much more of the movie was done with this intent? How cool would that be? And he falls into a hole and doesn't die. Man, that's like a death fall right there. That looks like quite a ways. The cave must have been there for centuries, only I just now stepped into it. Who is this actor playing young Bruce Wayne here? So a bat comes flying by. Has she lost interest in the story? I'm assuming puppet bat right there so we could get that shot the way we wanted. Though, doesn't it seem odd how Batman's got like a new gal every movie? And he wants to trust her with the I'm Batman, but you're going to split and then I have to tell the next girl. Wait, she's figured things out. You kiss like Batman. Oh, it's Two-Face and the Riddler crouched down with masks on. Conk on the head. Man, you can't get people to act like this in a modern movie. Even when something's a comedy or fun, they're not this over the top. What did those henchmen think was transpiring right there? He's seated, she's crouched down. I wonder what Riddler's Kane goes for at auction. Not the smoothest move, but it worked. Table smacked him in the chin. But you can't go into action until you roll a tails there. Where's Riddler getting the explosive tech? His thing was supposed to be this mind suck television device. I did not like seeing Batman's stuff get wrecked. He just drops like a bag of that in the seat of the Batmobile, and the Batmobile has to completely check out. Oh yeah, we're having fun with the non-diegetic music now. Switching it up to baseball and some sound effects. It's pretty corny. You know, maybe this movie's cornier than I remember. And boom goes the dynamite. You know, that Batmobile doesn't look terribly outdated in the exterior. It's corny, but it's not outdated. You know, not bad Kane work there by Riddler. Finally, I can get into action. Did he shoot him in the head or not? You know, what knocked him down the stairs somehow. We're 5 little items on an everyday sort. So important that you don't kill him, because I want to keep giving him riddles. To which, what is Batman supposed to be getting out of these riddles? It's not like, if you solve the riddle, it leads to the spot where I have the hostages. This is where I put the bombs, you know. It kind of just has riddles for the hell of it, and solving them is irrelevant because Riddler comes to him anyway. Riddler and Two-Face go in case it's like, hey, maybe you didn't solve this, so we're here to cause some mayhem for you to fight us and chase. You should be asking him if he's alright. I mean, old guy got conked on the head. Destroyed. The whole Batcave's destroyed. Seriously? Even the prototype shitty looking bat suits? No, oh no, those are fine. And what about the bat boat and the new bat wing? Oh yeah, those are okay too. We didn't find those. I was not a huge fan of Jim Carrey in the day. In hindsight, it's like, you know, once the Truman Show comes out, much more preferred that. But I didn't find his antics that funny in movies. I think his stuff worked as far as just strictly funny. You'll find us on a tennis court, whatever. Okay, all these riddles, what good does it do? We do a clock, a match chess pawns, vowels. But back to the Jim Carrey. His stuff works so good on a sketch comedy TV thing as far as the humor of it. There were some spots in his movies where he was funny, but I just wasn't that big of a fan at that age, even though his stuff should have appealed to me. Mr. E. Mystery. He left the clues behind to say that Edward Nygma is Riddler, which the audience, not being the best detective in the world, was able to figure out well enough. Now, this bat suit, yeah, there's the butt shot. This is overdoing it a bit, this silvery shine. I don't know. It just, there's a cringe factor. Would I take the boat or the plane? Oh boy, the metallic over here. Man, Alfred can put a suit together pretty quick, can't he? How do you get the, mystery face mask to stay on? There's no strap. You tape this thing on after you kind of put some black around the eyes. Glue it down. Look at this cowl. There is too many lines here, going all sorts of directions. So Batman takes to the sky, Robin in the boat. And by the way, you would crash and die before you ever left the Batcave. Look at... Okay, the boat probably had a fairly straight shot and then a huge fall into the water. But the dangers of trying to fly this thing this fast, you're dead. You're dead on the first turn. You never learn the path. More big statues. And a clock in the background that no one could read because it's not on the face of the building. It's like recessed on the inside. Flying through the greened up bat signal is kind of cool. Weird turn with the thumbs up. That's a GIF you see brought up on Twitter, I believe. I think I've seen that one around, yeah. So we're simply going to go have it out over at Edward Nygma's island, which, given that he has put a giant green question mark and taken over the bat signal, did Batman and Alfred need to figure out anything in those riddles when the guy's telling him the answer? We're going to play a little bit of Battleship here with some mines in the water. Not bad effects here. In some way, we're seeing better boat and, Batwing action than in Batman Returns and Batman 89, really. Oh, he had divers in the water waiting for him. Which I guess he could, because, he put up the signal of come get me here in the sky, so why not have everybody on standby? Shoots the Batwing. I can't really comment too much on the design of the boat and the wing in this, because you don't get a super great look at them. You don't get a clean shot, really, to judge the design. And have we now created the Bat submarine here? Well, Batman, you better hope they have plenty of air supply in there, because you just tangled up these guys in a fishing net. They get to the surface. I guess they'll be okay either way. And here we go. We'll have a line reminiscent of the 60s Batman. I don't think this got a laugh out of the audience, but it was weird. Holy rusted metal, Batman. What? The ground, it's all metal. It's full of holes, Holy. Oh. I guess that was the attempt of Batman and Robin to have some humor in the movie, because the humor is corralled by the villains. I guess Batman missed his thing, but Robin's way up there. Lots of ornate details. He's got the question marks all over the place. Just everything has to be a question mark. This is the fight you wanted, Robin. Heroic pose. Crushing elevators, sharp objects, and rocks below. What do you do? Oh, but Robin has to be good here. You can't just let him die. Even though he could be like, hey, Batman's the one that has a no-kill order. Even though this Batman, if we are saying it's the 89 Batman, he clearly killed guys. Man, he just has so many guns on him, doesn't he? Jets or rockets in the boots. To what else would you use those for? I couldn't tell you. Does he deploy a skate and he can like rocket skate? There's so many miniatures, massive sets, CGI. They threw everything into this that they could, really. There was no lack of effort, just maybe not applied in the best way. Oh, you figured it out. You figured out who I am. No, he's not surprised at all. He's reading men's minds. Oh no. I'm surprised your awesome, amazing box everybody's addicted to hasn't gone nationwide. Despite sucking up all this alleged knowledge, he never does anything particularly smart. I mean, it's not like he seems to have all the answers to a given scenario. I guess maybe he sucked up the knowledge of some demolitions expert to build those bird grenades. Is that... And do it quite quickly, too. There's the Angel and Devil girls again. I don't think anything particularly bad happens to them. I don't think we see them get away or get arrested. They just kind of dip out. Alright, so you got a scenario here. You're going to have to rescue Chase or the Boy Wonder. You don't have time for both. Who are you going to rescue if I drop them? Your personal favorite is A Watery Grave. Well, I guess you kind of have to go for Chase because you think Robin might be able to get himself out of this. He has equipment. Why should his answer be in the form of a question? Am I missing something, or was there not a line where he says, "You like my jacket, it keeps me safe when I'm jogging at night"? I never saw that come up. And that was one of the big things in all the marketing. Was that not in the movie, but only in the TV spots? I don't know. I don't think it's come up. And then, yeah, the girls just kind of leave. But by breaking this, one batarang to the crystal above leads to brain melt for Riddler. It was that simple. I mean, you could just not sit underneath it, buddy. But he still had the wherewithal to hit the button and release from the capsules. And first he goes after Chase. Arguably a whole scenario more ridiculous than we'd ever see in a Batman movie again. I mean, I'm saying it in modern times now, especially the really toned down action of the Batman. It could be a while before we see super over the top Saturday morning cartoon type scenarios. All right, you're safe enough. You know, the whole thing would have been easier if Bruce Wayne hadn't taken Robin along, because Robin's boat gets shot and he has to kind of go rescue him. He gets captured. Would have had an easier time just rescuing Dr. Chase, Meridian. It kind of defeats him with the coins here. This is not the worst thing. Here, this will make your decision tough. Throw all these coins. Oh no! Lose your footing. No effort to rescue his ass. Well, Robin, I ruined the moment for you. And how corny is it that a coin falls on his hand as he's sliding into the water? All right, let's go check in on Enigma. Looking a little deformed. I'm both Batman and Bruce Wayne. I had to save both of them. I'm telling you this, even though you kind of know I'm Batman, but you act loony enough, no one's going to believe you over at Arkham. I believe this is our first view of Arkham Asylum in a Batman movie. Oh yeah, this guy looks like a completely sane doctor dude who needs to be supervising this, sure. Yeah, not a mad scientist. Says he knows who Batman is, huh? Kind of a cool looking pad itself, I don't mind saying. Yeah, we had a dance. Dr. Burton tells me. Wait a minute, is that Tim Burton? That's not Tim Burton as the doctor here. I think that's an older guy. But he does kind of have the hair of Tim Burton. He says he's Batman. Okay, yeah, he doesn't know the truth. Your secret's safe. Your secret is safe. He's definitely a wacko. You said he was a wacko earlier. Yep, we're making wacko a technical term. Oh, look on Alfred. Come on, give him some privacy. Or as I think they say elsewhere, privacy. Run towards that camera. We're going to aim the bat signal, down to ground level here. Just kind of... It's a cool closing shot, actually. Sometimes a movie doesn't know how to close. It just ends on a freeze frame. This is cool. Cool for me. And here we go with you two. So, Batman Forever. What'd you guys think of it? You know what? On this viewing, maybe I've soured towards it a little more than I thought. It is it doesn't just simply seem to dip its toes into the camp. There seems to be some full-blown camp going here. I still think it's kind of enjoyable. It kind of has a fun factor to it, but not among Batman's best efforts. And maybe Val Kilmer thought this was going to be a little more serious, because he played a lot more of this, straight than maybe the end picture tells. But let me know what you think of Batman Forever in the comments below. Till next time, adios.